Hello and welcome back to Sarah's Country Cottage. I'm starting today's video in our kitchen and I'll be going through a few of our rooms, and the reason why is I'd like to just talk about how books have influenced my interior decor and how I create a home. So basically it's the books that I love, the books I've grown up with, the books that I was introduced to by my mother. And yeah, I just want to show you how each room, so the sitting room, our bedroom, even the downstairs loo, have been inspired by the authors and the books that I love so much. So here I am in the kitchen, our lovely cozy little corner. And the first book, and my mum had this book. I remember my mum having this book when I was a girl. And it's The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady by Edith Holden. And so a few years ago, I was able to get a copy for myself. And so here we are in the kitchen, in the corner here. And it is this corner of my kitchen that is probably inspired mostly by this book. It's a beautiful book. Let me see if I can just show you a couple of illustrations. Especially because it's a diary, and so it goes through the months talking about nature. And this one, can you see that? For May. That is one of my favourites. I love Ness. I love spring. And as you can see, even on this little table, I've got a little nest that I've kind of put together myself with a faux egg and the little catkins from Pussy Willow, some ivy and moss. And then here I have another one, little nest, again with a little bit of ivy and a little egg that's made from Fimo. And even above here, we've got a goose egg. So it's things like that that inspire me. And the other one that I love, oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? My birthday month of April, with my favourite flowers, the primrose and the thrush, and violets, cowslip. So beautiful. She does the most beautiful illustrations. And as you can see, this tablecloth, well, let me close the book and I'll tell you about that. Because actually, this tablecloth I found in a charity shop, and it's not a tablecloth, it's one of a pair of old curtains. I think they were made by Marks and Spencer's, probably back in the 80s or early 90s. And the pattern is taken from this book, because the department store of Marks and Spencer has always, well, they're obviously inspired by their lady who wrote The Country Diary too. And so they've always provided, even I think today they still go on providing a yearly calendar and diary. And back then, I remember there being all sorts of different fabrics and things as well inspired. And so this little kitchen here, the little pine shelves, the little bits of paraphernalia, nature is all inspired by this book, and also other things too. I mean, I'm sure you've not missed here that we've got our little primrose from Bramley Hedge. And is that Mrs. Applewright? I've forgotten her name. And then look at this, the tea set. I think it's by Roald Dalton, but it's called April. And again, that's covered in primroses and violets, just like the illustration from the book. Again, I've got some Pussy Willow in a jug. And it's just little things like this, when I'm out shopping over the years, that I'm inspired to, that I'm drawn to, that I like, because I've seen them in illustrations, in books, descriptions, places that just fill you with warmth and make you smile. That's what I like to create. A home that makes me feel safe, warm, cosy. So I'm going to take you now to the next room. So this little room, our downstairs loo, I've shown before. And this room is very much inspired by my love for the author Beatrix Potter. I've used old books that I found in charity shops to create pictures to hang on the wall. And if I go, now it might be a little dark, if I go behind the door, you can see once again that I've hung pictures that I've just taken from an old book, and these are all from the same book, The Tale of Tom Kitten. And then here is a print that I got from Hilltop. The wallpaper, again, it's inspired by similar colours and tones that I see when I visit Hilltop itself, and baskets, and just even the fact that there's so many pictures in here. It's the tiniest, smallest room in the house, but there are so many pictures in here, and that's what Hilltop is like. If you visit Hilltop, you'll see it's full of pictures. So this is our downstairs loo, and again you can see again there's more pictures, little Lakeland scene, then Jemima Puddle Duck there, and then just collecting lots of curios, because that's what Beatrix Potter loved to do. She loved all sorts of little curios, miniatures like me, just so much. So hopefully you can see from this room how I've been inspired by another favourite author. So here I am in our sitting room, and the authors, the books that I have loved and collected for decades, that is reflected, I think, very much in this room, this little sitting room with its chintz, its florals, its tea sets, old clocks, antiques. For me, this epitomises two authors. Firstly, my beloved first grown-up series of books. Again, I was introduced by my mother and my grandmother, was Miss Reed. And here you can see in my old bookcase my collection of Miss Reed books. I did have them to begin with in paperbacks, and then as an adult in later years I've been able to source and collect the hard book versions. I love the dust jackets, they're beautiful, and the illustrations in these books are just wonderful, by John Goodall. He's a wonderful illustrator, and I absolutely love the illustrations that he's done for all these books. Well, if you've read Miss Reed, you know how I feel. And if you haven't read Miss Reed, I can highly recommend them, because they really are. There's two series of books, and one is based on the village of Thrush Green, and the other series is more based on Miss Reed speaking as herself, and that is a village school life in a different area of England. But both sets are just captivating, just English country charm at its best. And when it comes to Thrush Green, because it was Thrush Green series that I read first, I absolutely love the characters in them. They're just wonderful characters that you would find in an old English village. And so it's those books that really make me think, that introduced me to cottages and my love for cottages and decorating in a cottage style. And to me, that is with your English chintz, Sanderson here, and old clocks, and lots of lamps and lampshades, always florals throughout, tea cozies and tea sets, so that you can just imagine a couple of ladies passing time away on a morning, catching up on village life, a little gossip, but just sat here enjoying a cup of tea. But then the other author that I love and have read, however, I don't really have a full collection of her books, I only have a couple, but I also love the TV series, and that was the series of the Miss Marple by Agatha Christie. And again, I could just see Miss Marple sat here. I'm afraid we'd have to clear off these little pets, but I can just imagine her sitting here knitting away while again chatting and paying attention and super observant of everything around her. And Miss Marple never missed a trick. So this room here, again, it's just, I don't realise what I'm doing, but I guess it's these authors, these beloved books, that when I am out looking for things for the home and ways to decorate, it's them that inspire me. It's where my passion has grown from, or my love. And for that I do have my mum, my Nana, and my dearest beloved friend Nell, for they all loved wonderful books, and it is them that introduced me to the world of Miss Reed and Agatha Christie, and for that I will always be grateful. And if you haven't read a Miss Reed book, I truly advise you to do so and enjoy the wonderful world of Thrush Green. So now I'm in our master bedroom, and this room is very much inspired by my love for Jane Austen. It's not exactly true to the period of the Regency style, the Georgian era. The house certainly is. We now think, looking at our fireplace downstairs, that it could be another 100 years older than what we initially think. But yes, it's certainly an old house that lived through the years when Jane Austen was alive. And this bedroom, well, I have book plates on the wall that are from that time and era, and everything I love, like the lace bonnets. Again, there's more prints, things that I think lend themselves. They don't have to be true to the year or the era, but things that just inspire me and make me think of that time. So when I'm out looking, searching for that next vintage item, that next antique, I'm thinking, what suits my home, what I love, and what I'm drawn to. So when it was my birthday this year, now then, can you see this little candelabra? Little Regency girl. She looked like she could have been drawn by, was it Kate? Oh my goodness. My brain has gone again. What's the lady called? She was in the Victorian times and she did lots of illustrations. Kate Greenaway. That's it, isn't it? Kate Greenaway? And she loved the Regency era and she always drew lots of illustrations with children. So this reminds me of that. and I got this for my birthday. It was in a shop in, where did we go? Cartmel with my mum. We had a lovely day in Cartmel. And I'd seen this many times in this antique shop in Cartmel. And originally it was like £178. But this time when we went, well, the shop had completely changed. They'd had a complete change around. And it was down to £78. And then she knocked me another £8 off. So I got it for £70, and I absolutely love her because I've been looking at this in this shop for at least 2 years, and I was thinking, oh, ooming and ahhing, but thinking, no, it's too much. But that was my special birthday treat. So it adds to this room and gives it another feeling to me of my beloved Jane Austen. And here you can see I've got a couple of the books by Jane Austen. Again, there's another little lace cap that they would have worn. And this picture, this makes me think, kind of reminds me, you know, I could just imagine Jane and her sister walking down this lane and just how it would have been. So again, this is our master bedroom. Lovely old mirror there. And it just reminds me of my favourite author. So when I'm buying things and when I see things, like again, last year I saw this. Now this won't be everybody's taste because it's very dark. It's hard to make out. But I saw this last year and I've wanted it for a long time. And then again for my birthday, I bought this, and this was from the Antique Centre in Kendal, and it's very old. It's a painted face. Can you make it out? Is it picking it up? And then the rest of it is all needlepoint and embroidery, and it's a very, very old gilt frame. Let's see if I pull away. Might be able to make it out. So it won't be everybody's taste, because it looks so old, and it's, you know, the closes in that, again, that Regency period. It just adds to my room, along with these prints here in the mirrored frames. Again, that Georgian period. It just adds to the way I love to decorate, creating this lovely little nook in our master bedroom, and an example of how I am inspired by my favourite authors. So this little room, it is like a nursery, isn't it, with all our toys? But this room we always think of as our Bramley Hedge room. Again, so it's a series of children's books, but books that have been so beautifully curated, and the illustrations are just wonderful, that I think, you know, they're not just for children, they're for anybody. So if you've read the Tales of Bramley Hedge, you might realise that this room and the things that I find and collect, from the china to the embroidery, just reminds me of Bramley Hedge, with little figures of Primrose, and those the original 4 books, Spring, Summer, Autumn and Winter. There's quite a few more stories to the collection, and they really are lovely. So now, if you remember from my haul not too long ago, I bought a chest of drawers. Again, this was from the Antique Centre, and I said I was going to paint them yellow, and there you go. What do you think? And then I got the picture as well, and I was going to paint the frame to match. So now you can see how it's turned out. And if you look at this, you see this picture, Again, I'm inspired by Bramley Hedge, because if you look at the illustrations within the books, and I remember there's one where they're looking out the window, the little mice, and it's a diamond window, just like this one. So again, when I'm out looking, I'm always very much inspired by the authors that I love. So for this bedroom is my love of Bramley Hedge. And these are the two little mice from Bramley Hedge. So again, it's very much a room that's dedicated to my love for books. So this is our Bramley Hedge room. So I hope you've enjoyed a little tour of the books that have inspired my home and my husband's home, for he's a great lover of books too, and we do have books literally everywhere throughout the cottage. This is just a random shelf above the steps in our hallway. As you can see, there's the window looking out. We've got books all over. Oh, excuse me. There's the clock. There you go. Can you see as I walk downstairs? It's just chiming too. So I'm just going to conclude this video now in a hallway and show you the last. You see, there we go, even on top of the bureau there are more books, piles of books everywhere. Here we are with more of my beloved Jane Austen. And again, this hallway, the little Regency pictures, just lends itself to the era and my love for Jane Austen. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.